This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. You have the codes of a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you never stood for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to Man Talk 133 with Charles and Darl, the movement dedicated to empowering men, uniting brothers, and building a strong coalition. This is more than just a conversation. It's a call to action. Join us as we uplift, support, and inspire men worldwide. Because together, we don't just talk, we lead, we grow, and we conquer. Are you ready to be part of the coalition? Let's dive in.
Welcome to Man Talk 133 with Charles and Darryl. What up, boy?
Hey,
We back again.
What's happening with you? What's up with you?
Welcome to people into this show. How y'all doing this evening?
Yeah, come on in. What the boys say, come on in. Come on, we give you time enough for a free more to get on up in here. Yeah.
Come on. We can get 10,000, then we'll start talking. Get 10,000, folks. We waiting on them. Now we stop.
Right.
Hey, welcome everybody into the show tonight, man. Hey, y'all link up with us. Instagram,
That's
Man
right.
Talk 133. Facebook, Us Talking.
Yeah.
YouTube, Man Talk 133. Website, mantalk133.com. Man Talk with the one in it. Yeah.
That's right.
So the last couple of weeks, we've been trying to get folk right, man, how to get their businesses and stuff going, EINs and all this good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this week we're gonna jump into something I know about, dog.
Okay, what you got? What we got?
Starting your trucking business and
yeah.
what you
Okay.
expect.
Okay.
Because it ain't what you think. I'm gonna tell you that. I know everybody see it and they want to. Boy, I just want to sit behind that steering wheel and just hold it and make all that money. It don't work like that,
I'm
dog.
gonna go ahead and tell you right now, I won't want to do it. I mean, I drive enough, so
Yeah.
I definitely won't want to be out there in the heat of things. You know what I'm saying? Especially all that traffic.
They don't show you no love at all.
No, I can't do it, bro. I wouldn't want to do it. Now, if I was able, if I had a truck, I'd put somebody else up under it.
There you
Under the
go.
steering wheel, you know what I'm saying?
it.
Not me.
And I know, man, everybody want to. I talk to a lot of people. They want to be in the trucking,
Mhm.
and honestly, it's a good career because it's kind of like the backbone
Right.
of the economy. Get stuff places
Oh, yeah.
where from all the way across. So today we're gonna jump into,
Okay.
first. This is what I want to do first. I want to walk them through about being a truck driver.
Mhm.
That's first and foremost. If you want to be a truck driver, because everybody think they gonna get a truck, right?
Mhm.
And they're gonna take these runs down South Carolina or whatever, turn around, come back, and make $600, $700, $800, $1,000 a day.
That's what they call the drop and hook, right?
Yeah, you keep thinking.
Okay.
It, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna get into this, but you can take a load down and might not have nothing come back. So now you got a dead head all the way back, which is gonna basically cut. Anyway, we're gonna get into that, y'all.
Right.
We're gonna talk about becoming a truck driver. own your own rig, starting a
Mhm.
business, whether it's for you or not. What does it take to become a truck driver? The cost and requirements of license, the life on the road, transitions from a driver to owner operator, financial pitfalls, and so on. Now I ain't got to get a history. Everybody know the history of truck driving. You know, people been doing it forever, right? I mean, I know I've been doing it probably since
You've been doing it for a minute, right?
yes, it's
95?
94.
94, 95, something
94.
like that. Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing it since 94, man. And you know, I tell everybody, man, it's a good career path to get into. You know, it's good because you always gonna have job security. If you can keep your license clean and you can keep all that stuff clean, you're gonna make good money doing it, right?
Right.
But the thing is, you got to understand there's things that come along with it. So becoming a truck driver, you got 3 classes. You got 2 actually. You got Class A, Class B. I tell everybody, hey man, I want to get my Class B license. Why? Why get a Class B license? You're limited because Class B you can only drive like box trucks and stuff, right?
Right.
Class A you can drive whatever.
That Class B, that's considered classifications down with the school buses, right?
I think they could be, yeah, you're right.
I think way back in the day, if I'm not mistaken, when they allowed us to drive buses in high school, I think I had a Class B. I think that's what it was. But well, you go ahead on. Y'all had to forgive me tonight, but I got something. I'm coughing a little bit, but you know, but we gonna make it though.
Yeah, we're gonna make it, Doc. So, but let me tell the folks right now. So before y'all think about even hitting the road, y'all, it's some steps y'all got to take. First, you got to go. You got to train. You got to study because you're gonna have to take that test. You got to pass the test to get whether it's a Class E, Class A, Class B permit. You're gonna have to pass that in order for you to be able to. You got to take background checks. You got health requirements. You got endorsements you may want in hazmats, doubles, triples, all that stuff you may want. Then when you get your Class A license, now you got to go through them the rookie stuff you got to go through. Now we talked about this a while back. Remember we talked about how the new guys come in, they get all the miles, but don't get no money.
Exactly.
And the older guys get half the miles, but they get paid more money on miles.
Right.
So they run the young guys into the ground. And then the older guys, they still making the same kind of money. So you got to be able to, you got to want to be able to just deal with that. You know, I dealt with it. You know, when I first started the company I am, and the company before I dealt with it, right? Because they gonna put you, they gonna give you the crappy stuff. Just be real. You're gonna get the bull job. There ain't no way of getting around it. And that's why a lot of people say, you know what? Well, I want to own my own truck. And that's where you're gonna get even more bull job. So
that's why.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's why I always, like I come across like young guys, like especially particularly where I used to work at, young guys coming in, straight out of high school or something like that. I would always encourage them, man, like, y'all still young, you're in school, you still got your, some kind of a educational foundation where you can, read and comprehend pretty well, right?
Yep.
Like you just coming out of school. So why don't you just go on back to the, to the community college, something like that, and get your CDLs.
Yeah.
That way, even though, like you said, you're gonna start, behind the 8 ball, but for those guys that don't go in the military, go off of to college or nothing like that, when they driving trucks, they will get to see different states, cities, or whatever.
Yep.
If that's the bright side of it, I see that you can look at the bright side of it.
Exactly.
So,
because,
I just want to throw that in there real quick.
Free, and get paid.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think it was one more thing I was gonna ask you too before you get into it all. Now, when you got your own truck, would that be a little bit better? I know you're gonna get into it, but wouldn't it be a little bit better as far as like picking up loads, like from different ports? You know what I'm saying? Versus working for a company.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Because what if you go to you own your own truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you take this load in, and they ain't got nothing to take back out.
Right.
So now with a company, you're gonna get paid to drive back empty.
Right. Okay.
When you owning it, you gonna spend money to drive back empty.
Man, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
So the difference, you gonna definitely pay money to drive back empty, because what they call it, like deadhead is what they call it. So you take a load up, you can't get nothing back, you got to drive back empty. It's deadhead. You're gonna deadhead up or deadhead back. Either way, if you ain't got something set up as an owner operator,
right,
you're gonna have to have it going up and coming back. If not, that's how you're gonna start losing the money. Company driver, what he gonna do? He gonna call, dispatch, they ain't got nothing for me. Hey, come on back.
Right. Still get paid.
Still getting paid. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the main three. The reason why I was telling people to get a Class A. Class A is the big rigs, just the ones that a combination of over 26,000 pounds. If you want to do long haul trucking and move into your own business, I would prefer for people to get a Class A. That's what I would prefer, because you can still, with, if you want to get a box truck, or people have businesses with box trucks, right? So you can still drive a Class B with a Class A, but you can't drive a Class A with a Class B.
Gotcha.
So it make more sense, right?
Yeah, might be able to get it all.
So yeah, so most folk, when they want to get their CDL, they'll go to like a school. You know, they go to like a trucking school, stuff like that. And them tests, them schools ain't cheap, man. Some of them can range anywhere from 4 to 7, 6,000. It just depends on where you go.
Right. Okay.
Me, I'm gonna tell people the easiest way to do it. The way I did mine, I went and worked with a company, and they let me. I trained on the truck. They let me use their CDL, their truck, to go to DMV. Get my CDL, cost me $90. Now you got companies that can do that. Pepsi Cola, trash companies, beverage companies, all them. They get a permit, and they give you 90 days or whatever to be to get your CDL or whatever, right? And so that's one easy, cheap way you can get it, your CDL. I'm going over this, y'all, because once we get into the part about on your own truck, you're gonna know why you're gonna need all this.
Right. Yeah. One real quick thing too, like we got here we got McLean. That does that. Now I was gonna ask you real quick before you move forward. Now up your way, does US Foods, do they offer that? Because I know they kind of like sort of like McLean. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of this. They used to.
I don't know if they still do or not, but I do know like a lot of trash companies, even the city. You go work for the city, some of them offer, your free CDL, stuff like that too. Most of them be Class Bs, except for like the food companies and places like you talking about. Another way you can get it, you can go through different companies. You can go through places like what's the companies, dog, that do it? Night Trucking. They do it. Swift, Snyder, all of them got their schools, and they'll sponsor you to go through one of these classes, so you got to pay it out of pocket. But then you got to give them like a year commitment or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask you. You got to give them some kind of commitment, right?
Got to give it to them, Doc, because if you don't give them the commitment, you got to pay all that money back. The $3,000 to $5,000, most people don't pay it back. But I'm just saying, you still responsible for that.
Right.
So yeah. So then you gotta go to school, get your stuff, get your license. Then you got to pass this DOT physical. All this stuff you got to do, man, just so you can get the CDL, because you got to have a clean background, no felonies, DWIs, all this stuff. That stuff could stop you from getting your CDL, right? So you got to have all this stuff before you start talking about getting your own truck. Some people hop out of truck in school and go right get a truck and they mess up. I'm gonna tell y'all how right after the break, y'all.
BeRadio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back to Man Talk 133 with Charles and Daryl. Today we talking about starting your own trucking business, what to expect. Now we don't walk through what you're gonna have to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like before we went to break, I think me personally, if you're gonna get your CDL, just get your endorsements on your hazmat, your tanker. Most of them you're gonna have the hazmat anyway. Get your tankers, doubles, triples, all that stuff. So it make you more desirable when they like, hey, we need somebody to carry so and so. The broker call you up. Hey, Mr. Willigas, I need you to blah 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 blah. Right. Now, the first year for first year drivers, they make probably what 50,000, 45, 50,000 a year, somewhere in that area, right? And not to mention, it's gonna be long hours on the road, long hours. Log books, electronic logs, the pay structure versus the salary. I mean, it's a whole lot of different things that goes into driving trucks. I'm giving people this so they'll know that, hey, it ain't just grabbing the wheel. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to be away from your family. For some people, be on the road 14 and home too.
Yeah, man, that's what I was gonna say, man. Especially definitely for the young bucks. That's probably, just go ahead and jump in when you young as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like military or college or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you said, you talking about the long hours. I never was in the trucking game, but I, got a touch of it, through you guys and a couple of other guys. But you definitely can't be in love. And out there in the truck on the road, like you were saying, you might do 14 out and then you back home for 2. You know what I'm saying? You got to be definitely starting off. Got to be a single man's game, if you ask me.
Definitely gonna have to be that because it's gonna cause some issues. See, I was blessed enough not to have to go on the road, and I'm trying to tell people and get them the game on how to go to some of these companies that's local and get a free CDL. You got to have your Class A or Class B permit. These beverage companies always needing people because of the high turnover rate. You can get your Class A CDL basically for free. I got when I went to this, I found out it'd been better for me to get the Class A versus a Class B. I went to Coca-Cola, got a Class B. I was limited, but I got it free. They had a guy right there on site where he, you drive a little while, he tests you right there, give you the paper, you take the DMV, you done with it, versus going through a school or going through some sponsor company where they sponsor you. You got to go through their school or whatever they do, right? So, and you got the lifestyle challenge we were talking about there, family time, your health, fatigue, mental stress. Because you think about it now, if you've been to Raleigh a bunch of times, and imagine that little bit of traffic when you come in and get out. Imagine having to do that every day.
I couldn't do it, man.
And you in a truck that people cutting you off all day long.
It's definitely it would be definitely a life-changing event for me if I had to do that.
Exactly.
Because I couldn't. I'm saying I couldn't, but they always never said that you can't do anything. But bro,
it's quite a bit when people see trucks and they feel like they can beat them and they cut them off. And when they cut them off, you kind of, you gotta, sometimes you gotta tie them up to keep from hitting people.
Yeah, bad idea playing chicken with them.
Huh?
I said it's a bad idea. Somebody playing chicken with an 18-wheeler.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Then you got the opportunity, like you was talking earlier, you got opportunities. You can travel. You got independence. You can move around how you want to. You can go, hey, I want to go to, let's say I ain't never been to Utah. I want to go to Utah. Y'all got something, take me out to Utah, load, take me out and bring me back, stuff on the way, stop on the way back. Flexibility. but you got to be willing to be out there in them streets.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it ain't. Most local drivers, they're gonna average probably about 11 hours a day. Most of them average about 11. So you got that ain't bad because you home every night.
That's why I say, man, for a young guy, it'll be definitely great for a young person. You know, to get out, they can see, like you said, you know, they ain't never, you know, they want to go to Utah. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know how it is now with the trucking. As far as like, you know, I see a lot of guys with the headsets on or whatever. So, you know, you can get your phone time in, you can get your radio, you know, turn your radio on, hit the road, man, and, you know, and just go see Utah. You know what I'm saying? You know,
right.
You know, I look at it like that from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? You know,
not to mention if it's raining, you know, you kind of, I mean, you in the truck, it's cold, you in the truck. I mean, so it's kind of, it's benefits, but then, you know, you got to, then once you get married, you got to figure out if you're going to still, she going to still let you do that. Now we get ready to get into, go ahead.
Oh, no, real quick before we move on, and now that you say that, like when it's raining, you in the truck, when it's cold, is in the truck. That old motto I heard guys say, you will never be homeless. They'll never be homeless as long as they have their CDLs.
Never.
Because they driving, you know, they got their sleeper and they getting paid. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if, you know, I guess if they financial buying or whatever, or I just say divorce or whatever, you know, or don't have anybody, they can just get on the road and make that paper.
And that's what I was about. You know, I told people, I was like, if you got a CDL, there's no way you and your family should be homeless, because you can get a job, you got somewhere to stay. It's two ways you can actually. I'm gonna say two. I know probably for sure ways. If you homeless, how you can make it: CDL, and then go to school. Your parents kick you out, go to school. You can stay on campus till you get it together, and you can eat. You know
but before you move forward, I think if I was in a situation as far as like, okay, say if you didn't have family, right? And it was a situation like I lost everything and I didn't have family, and I'm in fear of like being homeless, especially as a young cat in the mid 20s or something like that. I get my CDLs, man, and I'll bounce. You know, I ride with I'm going to Utah, Seattle, Washington. You know, I mean, I know it sounds easy. It's easier said than done, but if I'm at risk of being homeless or something like that, or got kicked out, lost my family, lost everything, I know I'm working for this trucking company. Yeah, they might send me to Montana, Utah, places like that, but
I'm getting paid.
I'm making money, I'm getting paid, and I can sleep in the truck.
Absolutely.
You know? And they might put you in a nice hotel. They might put you up every so often in a nice room. So
or you can buy your own room. You won't stay in the truck. Hey, you spending your money.
Right. So like I said, I would definitely, you know, for the younger middle 20-year-old age guys, you know, going up into 30 or whatever, you know, they're single, you know.
Now this where we're gonna get into business side of it, from driver to business owner, becoming an owner, operator versus lease versus buying a truck. You got the startup costs, prices. This is stuff we're gonna go over. Startup costs. You got the truck prices, the insurance, the fuel, the permits, the maintenance. Now you got to find loads, so you got to get brokers, load boards, dispatchers. Now you got risk, you got debt, you got the breakdowns, the fluctuating costs, all this stuff that you gotta deal with, right? So if you don't, me personally, I'm talking about me. Now I know some people, they gonna look at it differently. Me, I would prefer driving for a company. If I'm gonna own a truck, right? If I'm gonna lease own a truck, and I'm only bringing $1,500 a week after all the expenses,
right?
I might well do that and drive for a company. If it tire pop, I call them, hey, your truck got a flat tire.
That's what I was gonna say, man. I'm rocking with you on that one. I'm riding with them all day long, because all those items you named off,
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
insurance,
All
fuel,
That's you.
tire pop,
That's
don't
you.
hey, transmission, anything. That's you.
That's you. It don't matter. That's you. Now leasing, I'm gonna get into leasing because we're getting ready to come up against the break.
Okay.
Leasing, you don't own the truck. You can start faster with low upfront. You know, most companies got lease purchase programs. The downside, you're gonna pay more over time. But I would prefer, if I was gonna get a truck, I would lease it. The reason why I would lease it is because if I'm out here running and something happened and I don't like it, I would like, hey, you know, I'm gonna turn this lease in. But if you go buy a truck, that's you. You done set up these payments on it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, leasing will allow you to see if you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? As an owner operator, mom called me right in the middle of the show. Hey, mom, I'm gonna call you back. You know,
you might be to tap in on the break.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you, mama. But yeah,
tell her she just went viral. See what she say.
No,
Mom, you just went viral again for the second time.
We up against the break, y'all. We'll be right back, guys.
bradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back to Man Talk 133 with Shaw and Daryl. Hey, appreciate y'all again for tapping in with us, man. We appreciate it for sure. Shout out to Joel and MBR. Appreciate it. And the veterans that's doing all this singing tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
So, all right. So let's hop back into leasing versus buy. Now, leasing is basically designed for, it's designed to benefit the company, not the driver. I want people to really understand that is not designed. Think about it. They're going to give you $100,000, $200,000, $150,000 truck to benefit you.
Right.
It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? To benefit you.
Right.
Now, buying a truck, you own the truck, whether you finance or you buy it cash or whatever you decide to do. Now, if you buy it cash, it's better. Is because you know you don't owe no payments, you get breakdowns. I mean, you can, if you manage your money right, you don't have to pay a payment, and you don't have to pay, you know, for maintenance, you know, for breakdown. But if you own it, you're just paying for breakdown, and you still got to do maintenance, but you ain't paying for that payment, insurance, and all that, right?
Yeah.
So, the benefits of buying is that you can pick your loads with multiple brokers. You don't have to go through a certain type of brokers. You can just go through whatever you want, especially if you have your own truck and trailer. That's what I would suggest. Buy your own truck, your own trailer, your own authority. You ain't running on nobody else's authority. You know what I'm saying? But what we was talking about earlier too, you can, if your truck is running fine, you can make some money. You can build your account up, because some of these guys, honestly, I knew a guy, he ran from here to Texas. He would leave out either on Sunday and be back on what's 4 days? Thursday? Yeah. He'll be back on Thursday, right?
Right.
Or he'll leave on Monday. No, he'll be back. He leaves Sunday, be back Wednesday. If he leave Monday, he'll be back on Thursday, right?
Right.
But Texas. But he'll run down one load and come back $8,000 in 1 week. Flatbed, right?
One load.
Yeah, he'll take one down, then he'll bring one back.
Okay.
But he was making $8,000 a week, right? Now, some people can get these loads where it may pay $500. It just depends on the broker. You know, y'all got to understand too, when y'all dealing with these brokers, which I don't want y'all to know, you can negotiate your rate. Don't just take the first thing they give you. Hey, you know, this is what I got, take it or leave it. You're like, no, bro, you want to make sure if you're owner operator that you can get at least almost $2 a mile, close to $2 a mile. That way you kind of making some money. You know what I mean?
I think the guys, some of the guys, if they, if they don't be locked down, I think a lot of the guys they do pretty good out of Norfolk.
Yeah,
The
come out the
containers.
guys that run, the containers. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's why I say your guy was. But you said he was flatbed.
he was
I didn't know
flat.
I didn't know what he was trucking from Texas. I didn't know if he was going to the ports of Texas or it was something else. But you said flatbed, so it probably was something else.
Yeah, run down, drop it off, come back. But the only thing you got to remember when you buy a truck, one major breakdown could wipe you out, dog. It could really wipe you out.
Man. That joint right that you talking about, man, is kind of like a pick your poison type deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a dynamic truck or two on and it's yours, and you may be on top for a minute. You pushing, like you said, $8,000 a week, whatever. But like you said, man, one major breakdown of a blow right through you. You know what I'm saying? And then, like you said, if you're working for a company, you ain't making it as much money, but the company is kind of like a safety net with a blow up on one major blow up.
Yes,
engine or tire, whatever, transmission or whatever. The company is the safety net, so it's kind of like
they're pushing another one. If it break down, hey man, your truck now is off the road, bro.
Right,
come get it. I mean, you can't do that if it's yours. You got to figure it out. You got maintenance. You got to go pay for brakes and I ain't trying to scare people off from getting their own truck.
But it's reality though. Yeah. Because like you said, you got to figure too, like, you talking about the breakdowns, you got to take in consideration like towing.
Yeah.
Say like towing, like if you, I don't know, let's say Caroline, we from here. So if you got a truck and you break down in Tennessee or Texas, like how do you get it back home? Or either you had them guys, you got to be tapped in with somebody that's
right
going to work on it in Texas or Tennessee. And then when they, a lot of times with the game, the way the game is played, if they know you from out of town like that, hey, your rate not interest rate, but your rate gonna automatically go up
100%.
For his mechanical to be like, yeah, we got him, so we got to fix his truck. We got it here in Tennessee or Texas, or
he got to pay it.
He got to pay me to fix it. So
he got to pay me.
Yeah, man. Like you said, you ain't trying to scare them, but it is what it is, though.
Now, lease, you can be like, well, hey, you call a lease company. Like, I know you leasing it, but it's like a car. If you leasing a car, like, hey, bro, I know I'm leasing this, but at the same time, it's still yours. Even with the finance company, it's the same thing with when you buying a truck, but at the same time, me personally, I would just prefer to just lease one just to try it, and then once I know the game, I'll go ahead and buy one. Now I'm gonna give y'all some startup costs. A decent semi can use, and again, let me say this is just my research. Y'all do your own due diligence because excuse me, y'all do your own due diligence, because sometimes folk, when they go out there and make a mistake, they want to find somebody to blame, but you won't blame Man Talk 133 with Charles and Daryl. Man
Talk 133 said.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain to his wife. Well, Man Talk 133 said, who is Man Talk 133? The guys on the radio.
Right.
Man Talk 133 ain't said nothing. I'm putting a disclaimer so when she go back and listen to it, Man Talk ain't said nothing.
Exactly.
So to get a decent semi, this is some of the startup costs you gotta think about. To get a used decent semi can cost anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000 a year. That's used. A new could range anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000 plus. But let me say this: me personally, I would, if I'm a buy a truck, I would prefer to get a new one, because in the first couple of years you got some type of warranty on it. If you can bite the bullet and keep it running enough for you to make money, and you got a quality truck, that you know ain't gonna break down. You can run from here, let's just say to Kentucky or out to Texas or wherever you're gonna run at, and you ain't gotta worry about no issues. Now you get one of these used ones, them old Volvos.
Yeah, they trying to take shortcuts. Let me go and get this Volvo. You know what I'm saying? And you think, and the people think now, like, you think it's bad just going to Lexus, Toyota, and Infinity, Nissan, whatever, to get your regular car service. Now you think the prices because the prices have actually gone up on a lot of, when you take your car to get maintenance, whether it's brakes or what have you. Just think about trying to get an 18-wheeler service.
Yes. Oh, I'm about to get into that. Let me go ahead, before we go to break. Let me jump into that. The insurance often runs from $12,000 to $20,000 per year for new operators.
You know what the boys say? I'm out.
Yeah, you no.
Shark Tank say I'm out.
Wait to this though. Your fuel is your biggest recurring cost. You got to spend this no matter what. I don't care. There's something you got to spend. Sometimes 30 to 40% of your revenue is fuel. That's why some of them give back what they call a surcharge, a fuel surcharge. They gotta give you something back because you're spending so much on fuel. Now don't forget the permits, the tolls, the regular maintenance.
Right.
A set of tires estimate. Just a set of tires on 18-wheeler estimate. Easily $4,000 to $6,000. Now I work with Snyder Tire. That's how I got my CDL, right? I work with Snyder Tire, right? And to come out, this was 2014, 15. To come out back then is $100. $100 just to come out. They ain't including the tire. Just for them just to move the truck. So now you talking about, man, just a regular tire could run you $300-400. Just one pop, one tire, you can pop it, and then what? Now you out of $300. Not out of, but you gotta have. Hey, we're gonna finish this up right after the break because I got some more good stuff to get into, y'all, for sure.
Yeah.
It's time for a vacation, and Fairway Travels is here to share great specials for you to choose from. Discover the charm and features of one of Sandal's 16 all-inclusive, luxury included, adults-only resorts, or a family-friendly beaches destination in the Caribbean. Or how about a couples resort in Jamaica? If cruising's your preference, get Thunderstroke aboard Carnival Cruise Lines or set sail on an award-winning Royal Caribbean ship. Join Virgin Voyages now for a wonderful adults-only sailing. It doesn't matter if you choose to travel by plane, train, automobile, cruise ship, or rowboat, we can help you reach your dream destination. Contact Fairway Travels today at 228-365-1012. That's 228-365-1012. Or email bookitnow247@gmail.com. Fairway Travels, where your journeys keep satisfying.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back to Man Talk 133 with Shaw and Daryl. And just in case y'all been on a rock somewhere or y'all just tuning in, starting your trucking business, what to expect. Now, I'm gonna tell you, trucking ain't easy as what people think it is. Now, I had to give the overview of like how the process of getting your CDL,
right?
Till you get to, I know people are like, man, when you gonna get to the good part? It is, because you got to know how. You got to know how to get to the good part. So
say the best for last.
Yeah, startup costs, I just gave y'all that, which is absolutely crazy. Now you got to find loads in order to keep your truck going. Guess what you got to do now? You got to find loads. You're an owner operator. You can't go to dispatch and say, hey, dispatch tell you, hey, go pick up from so and so, or take this load down here, and then you're gonna bounce up here and get this and come back. Dispatch ain't doing that. Guess what you got to do? You got to get on the load board, like the DAT, the DAT. You got to go truck out wherever you can find available freight. Now you got 100 out. Now you got to negotiate on your prices of what you're willing to take. Well, I can't take it for $150 a mile, dog.
Right.
And guess what? They're gonna be like, well, I mean, when you need to load, and you got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? Now you got to bite the bullet because now you stuck in, say, Miami, and you got to get back to North Carolina.
They count on no, man. They count on no is almost like when they got you on a pickle.
Yeah, they know.
They know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, this is our last offer right here.
Yeah. Take it or leave it, dog. I got somebody else waiting on it.
Yep.
That's what they do. But you know what, man? If you start building relationship with the, say, like with brokers and stuff, you're like, well, hey, you know what? I do this for this, but next time you got to get me back on this because I, you know, you make, because they making money too. So now once they start making money because you running, they're gonna start throwing you a bone. You're like, okay, he reliable, he consistent. Right. You know, we're gonna keep him. We're gonna keep him going.
Right, like you said, it's good to just network.
You better.
Yeah, network with people. Yeah,
I'm telling you. Now, let's get into the debt because you're gonna the risk and realities. You definitely going into debt. Financing a truck means monthly payments, even when there's snow on the ground or when the freight's slow, or you know, like a storm that caused the freight to come down where your normal freight come from. Now there's a storm up there, you can't get that out. You still looking at that $1,800 a month. I don't care if you ain't moved nothing. I mean, you saving on fuel, but you still gotta pay the and insurance.
The boy's probably like, come on, brother Shaw, man. I thought you was gonna give me something good. I thought you was gonna tell me something good. Hey, because like I said, you right. That monthly, like if it's 1,800,
still got
1,800 coming out.
Not to mention you got house stuff you got to pay for.
Exactly.
So if the truck ain't moving, the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. That's a fact.
Yeah.
If you sit still. Yeah, you sit still, doc. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you what that slogan y'all use. Y'all truckers. Yeah. That's it right there.
Yeah.
The wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning.
Not $1. I don't care what nobody try to tell you. Then, not to mention, it's gonna get better, y'all. Just hold on. It's gonna get a little better, dog. Breakdowns, a major repair, say blown engine, could cost around $20,000. At that point, go buy you another busted Volvo. One of them old to get you another one.
If I'm not vested, not vested in, I ain't been in the game on my own for like 15, 20 years, you know, I'm gonna be like I said again, I'm gonna be like Shark Tank. Like I'll be like this. I'm out.
I'm out, dog. You got it. You win.
20,000. If I blew an engine, it's 20 grand. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a buddy of mine. This is what he did. He got tired of working for the company we was at. I'm gonna go buy my own truck. I said, all right, cool, man. Congrats. Good luck, man. He called me. I got my own truck. I said, that's what's up. First week, got stopped by DOT. 2,500 on tires. Then a couple months later, turbo went out. That's another, I think he told me another, I think like 30-something hundred for that. And then the transmission clutch or something went out. So he was just, that's why I said, y'all hear me, y'all. I ain't just saying it, just I'm telling y'all, if you can afford it, get you an almost new truck with a warranty. Cause he dropped, it was so much that happened so fast. He said, man, y'all come get this. The clutch or transmission, one of them went out. They told me that was gonna be about $8,000 or something. I'm just saying, y'all.
You said it was $8,000. You said it was $8,000 when the clutch went out in the transmission.
Yeah.
On top of the 37.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm just telling you, man. On top of all that, what he had to spend. I'm telling you, it's y'all just make sure, man, that y'all do things the right way. Just make sure you when you get these trucks, I'm just see if you can get almost new.
Man, if hustling backwards was a person,
yeah, it's him.
Gracious.
It's him. So now We ain't even talk about the other stuff yet. Now you got to do accounting. You got to do taxes. You got to do record keeping. You got to maintain your health so you won't burn out. Now you got to, when you get this truck, you got to make sure your wife is on board. Because if she ain't on board, it's going down fast.
Right.
You may be making good money in the beginning, and you may get a hit where you home for 2 months, ain't nothing coming in, you ain't bringing nothing in, the money you done saved, you done burnt through it.
Yeah.
Now she looking at you like, bro, I understand it's your dream, but hey, bro, you gotta go do something. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you can't not sit here and watch me work every day while you ain't bringing nothing in.
Right. You know, like you said, you're probably pretty sure you're gonna burn through that paper, because like you said, you know, if you're looking at the monthly payments, like if it's 1,800, it's coming out every month. However you got it set up, so it's slowly burning through whatever you had set aside for a rainy day.
Yeah. It's gone. And then not to mention, you're gonna have to get mentors. I would say personally, if you know somebody been doing it a while, get you a mentor, man, and let them teach you the game. If they've been successful, man, y'all got to start networking when it come down to this stuff like this, because you don't know it all.
Right. You know, the way you broke it down by you being in the game for some years, a lot of years. You get in there, man, you don't know what you're doing, man. That can hurt you.
It's going to hurt you.
Not physically hurt you, but you know, you're gonna feel like you physically hurt, but it can definitely hurt you with all the stuff you just named off.
Listen, bro. And that's one of the things, man, where a lot of people, when they get in these trucks, man, they like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get a truck. I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. And you can. But guess what though? Like it's gonna catch up with you 1,000%. Is what it is. I'm just saying. Let me get back to my stuff, dog. Then you got to first, let me I'm gonna almost end it like this. I'm gonna get some stats on like why it's good to get into trucking and why you should get into getting your own business, right? One, you got to get the major points. You got to get trained and licensed first. If you don't get that, forget it. I'm just letting you know that right now. It ain't gonna work for you. Just forget it. Gain some driving experience. Go work. I would say anybody that's trying to start any kind of business, go work in that industry first and see what it's like. Go drive a truck, see if you like it.
Yeah, get your toes wet, see if you like it. Yeah.
You might not even like. You might get there and be like, man, this some bull. This ain't what the boys told me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I miss my wife, dog. I'm finna go back to the crib.
Cause see, real quick, I know you're going through your stats real quick. See, a lot of people, just like the Dollar General trucks. See, a lot of people don't, like you saying, you can, like you talking with guys earlier, going dropping off and picking up and bringing back. Dollar General people and the people that run the Family Dollar stores, and in some cases Food Line, they got to put their hands on all those items.
They got to touch it, man. Them McLean, they pull up in back up in them stores.
Yeah.
Sigma and all them guys, they got to touch that stuff.
So you might not, you might, like you said, you be like, yo, man, the boys didn't tell me it was gonna be like this here. They just told me about what he got paid every week. Yeah.
And some of them be lying on that because they may get paid that, but once all your expenses come out, you may be down to about $1,500, $2,000. Me personally, I understand it's freedom and you can run it whenever you want to. Where if I don't want to run this week, I ain't got to. But you also got to keep in mind on the backside of it, if you don't run the following week, you ain't gonna get paid. It's just like when you gonna go to work.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna get paid.
Man.
It's what it is. Like it's a business, y'all. It ain't like it's a hobby. It's a business. Right. Everybody, as we said the last couple of weeks, everybody want to say, "Hey, I own a business. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But you got to work your business to make it successful. It's what it is. Then you got to plan finances before coming on operating. Make sure you got some money stashed up because, bro, them breakdowns are happening. And when they do, your wife gonna be looking at you like, so how we gonna pay for XYZ? I understand your dream, bro, but we got to figure this thing out.
Transmission clutch just went out, and we got to get that fixed on the 18-wheeler. And how much you say that was earlier?
Then he told me it was about the transmission. If I remember, he told me it was about 8. It depends on who you go to too, but I think he told me it was about 8. And then you're talking about the clutch. I think it was like 37, something like that. Yeah, it costs a lot for them to fix this stuff, dog.
Like, I'm out.
Yeah, know the lifestyle realities. Like, you're gonna be gone. Your mental health, you're gonna be going off on people on the highway. Is that worth it to you? You're gonna be stuck in traffic. You may have an accident, and it's folk gonna just continuously cut you off, car after car after car. You ready for that mentally, or you gonna kirk out on somebody and block? You ever seen the dudes on the road that kirk out and they block up all the lanes? The truck drivers get together, all 3 of them, and they block the lanes.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah,
they done had enough, dog. They like, look, I'm done. Like, you ain't getting around me no more, dog.
And there ain't nothing you can do about it, but stay behind us. You know what I'm saying?
You can do about it, man.
Yeah.
Let me say this is a call to action. If trucking has been on your heart, do your homework. Talk to drivers. Dude, I would do more than talk to drivers. I would go drive just to see if you like that. You know what I'm saying? See if the road is calling you. It ain't easy, dog. I've been doing it for I don't know how many years, and it ain't so much the job is the people on the highway, dog. And
you right at 30, I think.
Yeah, y'all.
30 years.
Yes, sir. It's been a long time. But listen, thank y'all for joining the show tonight. Man Talk 133 with Charles and Durham, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us again. For the people that's on YouTube, appreciate y'all subscribing. You know, we appreciate all that. Appreciate the love that y'all been showing. So hope y'all gaining some out of this information that we giving. Truckers, I'm telling you, do your due diligence. If you're going to get your own truck, do your due diligence. Go back and listen to the video and go through it. And with that being said, be out. God bless. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.